Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Coming up on ESPN. Welcome everybody to Week 3 of the NFL on ESPN. I'm Chris Berman. We're here to get you set for what should be a good early season test for both of these clubs. New York, Denver, now clubs.
Crowds of tailgaters arriving early this morning. These fans are primed and ready for the game. Welcome to Invesco Field at Mile High Stadium. I'm Dan Stevens. My friend and colleague Peter O'Keefe is beside me. Peter, this game features what could be an intriguing matchup between a talented tight end and a hard-nosed, tough, strong safety.
No kidding, Dan. It may not be on the casual fan's radar, but I'm interested to see who comes out on top here. Jeremy Shockey is a talented and imposing receiver. This guy's ripped. All that muscle helps him break a tackle or two when he needs to. It should be one heck of a matchup. It'll be interesting to see who gets the upper hand.
Well, all right, Peter, we'll keep our eye on them as the game progresses, but first, the coin toss. Graham kicks it, and we are underway. Gross catches it back at the 1. Tackled at the 24.
Gross receive.
Griffin takes his first carry of the game and picks up a couple. Griffin is at the 40. Griffin gains a bunch on the play, and that will bring up first. Griffin gets the call on second down and will end up losing a couple. Griffin makes the nice catch and is at the 40. Tackled at the 39. With Peter, he's going to swallow you up.
Yeah, got to be a cross-country skier that time to get around him. He is a load out there.
Joyce fields the punt at the 14. Stopped at the 21.
Delvin Joyce.
Manning fires this one over the middle, and it's knocked away from the receiver. Bailey takes him down back at the 19. Hunt takes the long snap and punts it away. Bailey catches it at the 37. Brought down at the 49.
Champ Bailey.
Griffin gets the ball as he passes the line. Dragged down at the 42. Griffin gets the call again and picks up the first down. Griffin picks up about 2, and that brings up second down.
Looks can be deceiving, Dan. He really had to square himself perfectly to make that play.
Peterson puts a lick. Knorr gets the snap and kicks what will be a short one. Joyce fields the short punt at the 17. Runs out of bounds. Wilson hammers the receiver and forces him to drop the ball. Manning throws a bullet here, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Nick Ferguson.
Lynch tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. It'll be... Hunt gets the ball and punts it away. Bailey fields the punt at the 39. Stopped at the 46. As they start at their 46-yard line. The lead catches the hard throw and gets past the markers for a first down. Plummer throws a bullet and the ball's caught at the 30. Brought down hard at the 26. A scoreless game. Makes a play on this one and forces the... Number 84 grabs the fastball over the middle, and they get the first on 3rd and long. Plummer sings it to the right side, and the completion is good for 6. he's in for the touchdown.
It's a nice run, Dan. Gets all the yards he needs.
Not a huge quantity of yardage, but definitely some quality yardage. Brought down at the 31. Goes in motion. Plummer throws a heater right sideline, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Williams tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. Plummer throws a big high lob, and it's knocked down at the line. Incomplete. That will bring up
Aggressive D.
4th down, and the field goal unit is on the field. It's no good. It bounced off the upright and then out. Yard line. Barber will get the carry on 1st down and takes it upfield. Eventually pushed out of bounds at the 49. Bailey makes a play on this and forces the incompletion. Manning floats it to the right side, and it's caught at the 50. Tackled at the... Dragged down at the 47. Plummer just rifles this one, and it's tipped. Incomplete. 4th down coming.
All locked up there.
That will bring up 2nd down. 2nd down. 2 receivers to the left. Toomer catches it left sideline and is well past. Manning throws a heater right sideline, and he hits his man for a giant less than a yard. Toomer takes the catch out to the left and is well past the markers for
all together just like that.
Manning rifles this one hard over the middle, and it's not reeled in. Incomplete.
Amani Toomer tried to snap.
Ferguson puts a lick on the receiver and separates him from the ball. Manning really rifles this pass, and the Giants take a timeout. Gets the sack, and the clock continues. Manning throws a bullet to the flat, and the catch. Graham with the 43-yard attempt, and he misses this one way off to the left. Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN Halftime Report. Boomer?
All right, Dan, interesting game at the half. We'll get back to you guys in a bit. First, we welcome everybody to our ESPN Halftime Report. I'm Chris Berman. Now we'll look at our halftime numbers and look at the difference in time of possession. The Broncos should be way ahead on the scoreboard, but somehow they've let their opponent hang with them. Let's see if they can change things in the second half. Let's get started in this one early in the first quarter. Quentin Griffin bounces this one to the outside, and is going to get some room to maneuver out there. The Broncs later on in the second quarter, this time at the 5. Quentin Griffin got the carry here, and he comes through. A 4-yard touchdown for the Broncos. Giants still early in the second quarter. Giants behind by 7. John Lynch would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. Giants middle of the second. John Lynch is reading the quarterback's eyes all the way as he's able to get his hands on this one and pick it off. Giants trailing 7-0. Eli Manning connected with his man on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Broncs are the only ones on the board, 7-0. It's time now for our Halftime Hero Award, which recognizes the most dominant player of the first half. Duh. This time there can be no question. Quentin Griffin has played like a man possessed. And now let's...
This one, which starts at their own 20-yard line. Barber picks up 11 on the play, and that will bring up... Lynch makes a play on this and forces the incomplete. Manning throws this on a rope, and it's complete at the 41. Eventually shoved out at the 46. First, Manning throws a bullet to the flat, and it's complete for a gain of 3 yards. Now,
3rd and long, too, Dan. Big play coming up.
Hilliard grabs the rope right side, and they get the first on 3rd and long. Stopped at the 40. Manning zips it to the left sideline, and the ball is caught at the 26. Eventually tackled at down.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Toomer bobbles and drops it incomplete.
Amani Toomer
Up for their 11th play of the drive. Manning throws a heater, and it's good for a gain of 8. Toomer didn't haul that one in, and it falls incomplete. Play was more proof.
Boy, 3rd is such a crucial down, Dan. And when you don't convert, it really hurts.
Has it sailed just left. Griffin gets the call on 1st down and heads out right. Dragged down at the 31. Griffin carries it past scrimmage and heads wide left. No one in front of him. 35. Finally popped out of bounds at the 31. Watson catches it over the middle, and he's got the 1st down and a whole lot more. Love blasts him back at the 10. Plummer zings it to the right side, and it's caught at the 1, and he's stopped right there. Williams will be... Elam from 20 yards, and this one is up and in. We'll see if they can finally score as they start this one at their own 19-yard line. Toomer pulls down the... Manning zips it to the left sideline, and it's incomplete. Hilliard catches the heater left sideline, and he picks up 9. Manning rifles it out left side, and it's complete at the 45. Finally stopped at the 42. Hilliard catches the bullet out left and is well past the markers for a 1st. Manning throws a heater, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Manning rifles it out left side, and he connects at the 17. Manning zips it to the left sideline, and it's not. 3rd down, 2 tight ends in the game. Hilliard hauls it in right side, and he's in for the score.
Right past the coverage and into his receiver's hands. Nice throw.
Peter, they are within. Graham bounces it up. Mediz gets it off the bounce at the 47. Tackled at the 49. Ponder was in. Smith goes in motion. Griffin takes this one way out left, and he's stopped. The clock continues to run. The Giants take their... Griffin gets the call on 3rd down and heads left. The 15, 5, and touchdown.
And check out all the yards he snarfs up here. Yes, snarfs. That's an old football term. Tell you what, though, this is a great play.
That touchdown will stretch the lead, Peter, and it looks like they will walk. This one will fall incomplete.
Eli Manning.
Manning unloads this one to the left, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Gets the sack, and that takes them even farther away from the markers. Rips him down in the backfield, and that will force a turn. My partner, Peter O'Keefe. This is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
Enjoy this, and we're going to get you next time. We're going to get you next time. See you.
All right, Dan, thank you. So this one is in the books as we welcome you all to our ESPN Video Games post-game show. I'm Chris Berman. The Broncos stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. We'll pick up the action midway through the third quarter. Eli Manning would find his target on this one. The Broncos, after a red zone stop, Quentin Griffin is going to bounce this one to the outside. And look at the execution up front. He's in the clear. That set up an automatic 21-yard field goal. The Giants trying to answer back. Giants down by 10. Eli Manning would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. They climb back into the game, now down by 3. The Broncos answer right back. Quentin Griffin is going to show a little athleticism here as he finds an opening and then look at him go. He's off to the races. A 44-yard touchdown for the Broncos. And that's where we'll leave this one. Broncos come away with a win, 17-7. Now let's talk to a player who was instrumental in their dominant running game and is our player of the game. Quentin Griffin is on the field with our Susie Colbert. Suze?
Thank you, Chris. You really hustled today, and you helped your team put this game away. What gave you guys the edge today?
Man, I think that our linebackers are the spark plugs for the whole team. Nobody wants to win more than those guys, and they put their bodies on the line every down for the good of the team. And they should get a lot of credit for this win.
Back to you, Chris.
I'm Chris Berman. I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Texans edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. We had a big trade also of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
We'll shift gears now just a little and have a look at a few trades that should certainly be of interest. Justin Smith leaves the Bengals and heads to the Texans. And it's clear this was an area of their football team that needed somebody. In exchange, they'll get someone to beef up their roster. Charles Tillman is someone that'll be a good fit for this secondary, as his aggressive instincts make him a natural out there.
David, please come to Boston, stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Kyle Bowler threw 3 strikes to the end zone and helped his Ravens beat the Bills. Giants, Broncos. Ravens, Quentin Griffin finds some running room on this one. Then it was off to the races. The Broncos win this one by the final score of 17-7. Deep in Cajun country in New Orleans, we had the Saints edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. Over at Edward Jones Dome, we had the Rams edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Buccaneers pick up win number 2. The Vikings defense got to the quarterback 4 times in their win at the HHH Metrodome. The Patriots won on the road and will now head home to meet the Texans. Drew Bennett stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Brian Westbrook rushed for over 50 yards and helped his Eagles beat the Cowboys. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Larry Triplett is probably the one that most leaps out at you. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Willie Blade sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. Tests at the stadium revealed a broken kneecap, so he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
At the home of the Indy 500, we had the Colts get edged out by 2 points. Over at Arrowhead Stadium, we had the Chiefs walk away with a 6-point victory. And in our final game, we had the Packers come away victorious. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.